Taping. There's a lot of K-tape continued ed you can take online. Rock tape is a big one. It's the expensive one, but all right, intro to kinesio taping. Actually, there's a bunch of names. There's K-tape, kinesio tape, rock tape, KT tape, kinesiology taping, right? There's tons of words that all means the same thing. And I highly doubt any of this will be on the NBLEX. This is just a bonus for you guys, by the way. All right, so K-tape was invented in Japan over 30 years ago. That sounds about right. It was first introduced in the U.S. in 1995 at the Northwest Trainers Association Conference. What is K-tape? It's a special elastic adhesive tape, in quote, designed to speed up recovery time. Here's a fun picture. So we have some K-tape on the calves. I'll explain what the shapes mean, right? We're stabilizing elbow joint, and this is stabilizing the low back. She looks crooked, but I know she's standing weird. Yeah, you can. Do they have to shave the horse? Or can they do it? Yeah. Same with humans. All right, the properties of the K-tape. It mimics the elasticity of the skin. So you can still move freely with it. The thickness is approximately the same as the epidermis of the skin. Typically, it could stretch 40 to 60% of the original length, so it's very elastic. It tends to usually be 100% cotton rayon fibers, and it kind of has a little woven pattern. It's breathable, right? You can use it. You can wear it in the shower, by the way, without it coming off. It's latex-free and hypoallergenic. A lot of times the adhesive used is heat activated. It's usually an acrylic-based adhesive. It's 50% water resistant. It still feels wet when it's on, but like I said, it doesn't come off. It's like glue, huh? Oh, it hurts so bad. If it's been on for a while, yep. We'll go through it. It's designed for consistent use for 3 to 5 days. So when you get K-tape, typically you leave it on for several days. Or you're me, and once it gets wet, you can't handle the wet on you, and then you rip it off. So there's therapeutic benefits to it. It reduces pain and inflammation. I'm going to tell you how in the next slide, how the science of it works. It relaxes your hypertonic muscles, so the tight muscles. It stimulates weak or inhibited muscles. It re-educates the neuromuscular system. It also enhances performance. It prevents injury by providing support, and it promotes local blood and lymph circulation. Weird, right? You guys are not taping people for clinic.
No, movie tape for tomorrow.
Oh, might be good. Yeah. How does it work? In a nutshell, when this is placed on your skin, the tension of the tape kind of lifts the skin away. So here's what it looks like without pain, or without pain, I'm reading that. Without tape, and here's with tape. So as we're lifting, it's creating a little bit of space where the blood and lymph would flow, right? Instead of everything being tight and compressed, right? This releases pressure on your nerves, and it's within the interstitial space that the body's own healing functions thrive. All right, so what happens, like I said, in a nutshell, it just creates space. It's here. It's like doing myofascial release. It's lifting the skin away from the fascia and allowing for blood flow. That's the magic. How do you use it? How do you cut it? So the tape comes in pre-cut and uncut rolls. And also comes in like pre-cut shapes if you want to not even do thinking, right? So typically what we do is we measure the area and determine how much K-tape is needed. I highlighted this in yellow. Always round the corners. So when I demonstrate this on Theo later, you're going to see that I round the corners because that keeps it from lifting at the corners so it stays on longer. We will apply what is called an anchor. So that's the end of the tape that we put down an anchor on the skin before we stretch it and put it on the rest of the skin. Here's a fun little diagram here. I'm going to zoom. So you can stretch it depending on what you're trying to achieve. All right. So if you just want a little stabilization and relax a muscle, you can just do a tiny little stretch. All right. So say this is the full stretch or the thing without stretch. We'll say it doubles in size. All right. So that would be, 100%, maybe 75%. So that's kind of a little stretch will relax a muscle. If we're trying to get a muscle that's weak to activate, we want to put more of a stretch on it. If we were trying to release the fascia, about a 50 or a little less, all right? And then we want to support tendons and ligaments. We're going to add more of a stretch. So the more you stretch it, the more it supports, basically. The more you stretch it, the more it's like an ace bandage. There's different shapes. This guy here in the middle is called a claw, and I'm going to zoom so you can see. But here, the claw, or they also call it the fan shape, is what moves the lymph out of the area. So what that's doing is we're going to have this anchor down on something. Say we're trying to move lymph out of a swollen ankle. We're going to stick this right where that area is, and this will be going towards where you want the lymph to be dispersed. Right? These are different shapes. We have the I shape. Most of these, the shape is the shape of what the tape looks like. I shape, V shape, Y shape, claw or fan, lantern, and another lantern shape. All right. And this is kind of like into more advanced, but you can get them pre-cut like this. So in this instance, the main thing we're doing when applying K-tape is we're thinking about the direction of the muscle fibers. That's why it's called kinesiology tape, because it goes along with kinesiology and what the action or the shape of the fibers and direction are. So for this one, light just flickered all weird. We have a piece of tape going down the neck. So this to me looks like it's like traps and a little bit of levator. And then we're kind of crossing the spine. So we're supporting that mid back a little bit, or that upper back, right? And then we have a cross here. This is going to be where your infra or your supraspinatus would be. So for me, this is telling me we are supporting that shoulder. There's not really a wrong way to put tape on the body as long as you know what direction the muscles are going and what muscle you're trying to help. All right. You can't see this one great, but when we do the knee, I'm going to do here, we typically want this shape. So the kneecap goes inside the hole. Makes sense? Or the elbow goes inside the hole, and the tape is supporting around that joint. Oh, gosh. Good God. All right, so this one here, wait, we missed one. This one here is telling me they're probably having issues with their elbow. I would say lateral epicondylitis, right? So if we were going to be in anatomical position, it'd be on this side. And now we turn it over like that picture, so lateral. So we are supporting elbow. You're going to want to put a supportive thing around the main joints. and then the muscles is what we're doing here. And I like that they have different colors. That's fun. All right, so we're supporting all those extensors to kind of help with tennis elbow is my assumption. This one, probably carpal tunnel or just tendonitis of the wrist, right? So we're going to put this tape around the wrist to try to pull the skin away and allow for lymph. And then we're going to go along the flexors to support them. Here's shoulder, right across the delt. And then it looks like we're just kind of going down the arm a little. This is going to support probably shoulder, rotator cuffs. So there's, like I said, there's this one over here looks like rotator cuff, and so does that. So it's just different ways of taping. Here's a close-up of the knee. Say the person's having knee pain and they have an event, or maybe they're a runner and they can't miss this race they've been training for. So we're going to stabilize the knee a little bit. And this across here is at that tibial tuberosity, so it's probably stabilizing that to help with the quads a little bit.
Or patellar tendonitis.
Yeah, could be patellar tendonitis. Or maybe it's an old injury like ACL, MCL, and we're trying to just stabilize the kneecap. Ooh, look at these. All right. This, maybe they're having just a lot of tension or swelling in the ankle. And see the fans going up? They're trying to just bring that out of the ankle here. Here we're stabilizing ankle, right? Same with here, stabilizing ankle. See how this is on this outside, the tape? We're probably trying to bring the ankle more into the eversion. Inversion? No, eversion. And they might have a little plantar fasciitis. This is actually really good for that. It's fun. Taping is fun. So how do we tape? You have to apply it to a clean surface. That's why I want her to get a massage first, and then we'll clean her up, preferably. Or I can show you, take it off, get the massage, and rewrap you. Whatever you want to do. Clean the area. If it's after massage, you want to remove all oils. So typically what I do with people is I get a little wet towel with soap and water. I wipe that off, and then I clean it with rubbing alcohol to get the rest of the grease off. And then we're going to take, and I'm going to show you how to take the adhesive off of the back of the tape. And it says, place the first 2 inches of the tape on the skin. So you're going to place the anchor down before you peel all the backing off so that you can direct it without the tape bunching up, right? Kind of like packaging, a box, right? And then we're going to do a little stretch. I'm going to show you some stretches and what to do. Like I said, remember, the deeper the stretch, the bigger the stretch, the more stabilizing you're trying to do. So if you're trying to do this so somebody doesn't roll their ankle more, you're going to really put a stretch on it. All right. It may be necessary to trim any excess body hair first, because if someone's really hairy, oh God, and you're trying to stick this to their skin, it's just going to stick to their hair. That's going to hurt really bad when taking it off. Application, we want to typically apply the tape 1 hour before beginning activities for the best adhesion, not right before. Because then if they start sweating, it's going to come off. It's not going to come off if you give the adhesion enough body heat to activate. If you overstretch it, it's going to come off. Apply directly to the skin when possible, especially at the ends. Avoid layering the tape too excessively. So I know they had different colors. You want to make sure it actually has somewhere to stick on the skin, not a lot of tape to tape. All right, and then avoid touching the adhesive side when you're trying the tape. That's why we're going to keep the plastic backing on it for as long as possible until application is complete. Removal. Here's the fun part. It is best to remove K-tape slowly Do not, for the love of God, rip it off like a Band-Aid, because you're probably going to rip off part of your epidermis. All right, so apply a thin layer of oil or lubricant to the K-tape and let it sit, then remove slowly. Or you can apply a layer of oil and lubricant to the K-tape and slowly remove it in the shower. That's what I do. So I will literally put oil on it, go in the shower, and then let the heat of the water help me peel it off, because it is on there pretty good. Sometimes it leaves a little residue, so you can kind of rub it off with rubbing alcohol or some kind of oil. Cool. And like I said, there's tons of online sources if this is something you want.